you don't have a clear direction in which to go, it's only natural, right, for your personal compass to spin out of control. Like you start worrying about the future, and you consider all the things that went wrong in the past, and you decide to look inward for answers, but you've also got to look outward, right? Like, who's to blame? Is it out there? Is it inside me? Should anyone be to blame? Up, down, side to side, me, us, we, who, you, why? Tell me, why and where? Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? And if things are really hard, what's the point? So there is, I suppose, some comfort knowing that we all quarrel with these existential quandaries at some point in our lives. And occasionally, if we're lucky, we experience an oasis, like be it a place that lets us rest, or the solace of meeting someone else who really understands the difficulties that you're going through. Sometimes it's just a look, like a moment when your eyes meet that seems to suggest you've shared the same pain, or the opposite, right? As Alanis Morissette would say, you speak of my love like you have experienced love like mine before. It's why people go to support groups, right? Or church, or they find each other on the internet to share similar stories of struggle and sit with others, to rest in the knowledge that you are safe in their company. And it's why I used to remain alone with a book or a movie. Other people, no thank you. I'd like to think that it's because I wanted someone's company to be sweeter than my solitude. But the reality was, I was scared of everything. I didn't trust anything. I later found out that I had PTSD from a thing that, I'm now thankfully distancing myself from. But I didn't know at the time that it was post-traumatic stress disorder that was forcing me to isolate. And I'd put on a brave face, right? I'd sometimes even convince myself that I felt okay. But it's recently come to my attention that I've mostly been alone for years now, and it's been really good, but also challenging, because I'm really annoying. Like, I'm constantly with me. Help, help me. But seriously, I put up walls, right? So many walls, because something hurt me profoundly. And so I felt like the space around me was swallowing me whole, and the people in that space, be it those that I knew before the event, or just strangers, new people, each person was like a Turing test to be solved, trying to calculate if they were out there to hurt me. And it's exhausting to think like that, to live like that, to distrust others, everyone. It's difficult to comprehend, and an arduous, perhaps unnecessary task to try and explain one's inner world, right? We're all trapped in our subjective experience, not really knowing if someone else really understands. Alone together is so often expressed, and so I wanted to connect. I want to connect, but I know how complicated I am, and therefore I give everyone else the same respect, and I imagine that they are as rich in story. And before you can connect with others, you want to first comprehend your own dictionary, right? Before sharing words with others. What connotations and denotations do I have about certain words? And when I share them, does the interpreter hear the same thing? Words like love, death, dream, pain, time. It's no wonder we all wear masks, right? Shielding us from potential attack and camouflaging ourselves among others so that we may survive. One thing that's helped me a lot when feeling lost is to ask myself a question and then meditating, focusing on just my breath, which at the beginning was hard work. So many thoughts and distractions, future, past, present. I've got to do this, I've got to do that. So many things that need doing that pulled me apart, as if my mind were controlled by Jackson Pollock. That's a niche reference. Eventually, with practice, meditation proved a useful technique to calm the chaos, right? To find some order in the madness. This practice of mindfulness allows me to position myself in the middle of all these parts of me sprawled out across time and space. Because all my goals, all my desires, are spread out metaphorically across different places and different times, right? So with my eyes closed, in a space where I felt safe, door locked, just me, concentrating on the rhythmic metronome of my breath, in silence, in stillness, I slowly realized that now, even for a brief moment, the past, the future, all those other places and times don't exist. Right now, there's just me in my body, in my breath, and I can relax my shoulders, soften my spine, and for a moment of meditation, stress just fades away. And I'm ready to return to the mayhem of the outside world with resilience. Because now I have found my center, I'm back in my core. And sometimes I realize that, you can even let things come to you rather than go out and chase it all the time. Life in the labyrinth has its way of keeping us puzzled and frustrated, but as Mitch Hedberg once said, if you find yourself lost in the woods, fuck it, build a house. Well, I was lost, but now I live here. I have severely improved my predicament. I used to laugh at the religious nerds who looked at the Bible or the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita or whatever religious text they use as a compass. These idiots, don't they know? But as I got older, I've been humbled, and I found some use, some guidance in those books. If not, just a mirror reflecting back universal issues. There's comfort in a humanity that has spanned across time and space, sharing the same stories, the same struggles, and therefore the same need for answers. I think it's Corinthians 5:7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. And I'm starting to understand that. Once you've experienced a kind of loss that pulled the rug from underneath your feet and made you question everything you thought you once knew, every day can feel like wading through the darkness of constant unforeseen variables, blind, not knowing whether or not you're making the right choice, the right decision. Knowing that we are in this universe, we are made of this universe, we are in this universe, we are this universe. There can be a symbiotic relationship with it, a kind of fearlessness, for we walk by faith, not by sight. What's this one here? Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not into thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. That's Proverbs chapter 3, 5, 6. Useful stuff. I didn't think that before, but it's useful. So, I wish you all luck and love and laughter, like some cliche hanging on your grandma's walls. And yeah, thanks for giving me your time as I had a bit of a rant. Cheers. Right, I'm gonna go find my way again.